VMGM, here we are, you guys. It is Vagobond Media. Good morning. I'm CD Demiscio, joined by my co-host Riona Morgan, and our friend T. Dylan Daniel is here. Paige Dow in the house, and I'm sure that we're going to have a few more of you joining us soon. But to start, Riona, how are you today?
I am so good. I'm so good. This morning I jumped in and I just started running around sharing this space with just anybody and everybody who I could think of. And then I saw you doing the same thing. So I thought, well, I'm just going to piggyback on that and be just as excited about all of this with you. So, hello. Yes, I'm wonderful. So, I'm Rihanna Morgan. I'm editor in chief of Vagobond Magazine. And I am also community lead at Page Dow. So, hello, everyone. I'm glad to be here.
As always, we are very happy to have you. And you are right. That's what I was doing this morning. And there was something that got under my skin a little bit. And so I wrote a little bit about it in the VM Discord. But I hate the fact that Greg Younger came into the space, created like Right 3 as this exciting thing, and then he just sort of disappeared. And went to doing something else because it didn't fit his plan, which I totally respect. That's fine. But I hate that community is just sitting there. So I sort of started thinking about it, and I just really want to onboard all those people in with VM and with Page Dow and everything else, because that's where they should be. We're active, we're here, we're in the space. And so I've been sort of focusing on that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely do. I definitely do. And I would like to say you are very clever. So, whatever that was, that's not true. You are very clever. Very, very clever, my friend.
I doubt that. I ride on the backs of others, and I'm very lucky to be able to do so. One of those others is our friend T. Dylan Daniel, who's here today. Founder, co-founder, whatever you'd like to describe him as, the main man behind Page Dow, or one of the main men, the main person, one of the main people. T. Dylan, how are you?
Oh man, I'm good, CD. I'm very, very good today. It's kind of wearing me out, man. There's a lot going on in the space, but it is a very, very contented kind of exhaustion that I'm suffering from today. So I'm here. I've got class after this. I'm going to be going to be attending a history of psychology course here at Texas Tech University. Uh, and I'm working on a research paradigm that I think will enable us to maybe put a little bit more pedal to the metal in terms of how we think about and how we understand consciousness and its relationship to the metabolism. So stay tuned. I'm part of a lab. We're gonna be writing a bunch of stuff. Right now, I'm actually skipping a lab meeting to be here with you guys. So that's how excited I am about Page these days. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you so much for being here. And maybe skipping class, you can always come back and listen, but we want you to be here. So do that. You remind me of something. I think I should have won the internet the other day for this. There was a question on Facebook, which I still use because there's a lot of friends and family on there and stuff. And the question was, name something in the 1970s that was popular, that was outlawed or was banned because it was no longer safe. And my answer to that was Bill Cosby, which it cracked me up. I think I should have won the internet for that. But you reminded me of that because you said I've got class, and I grew up watching Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. I don't know if you guys enjoyed that, but it like basically was my formative show when I was growing up. That was the one. Watching Fat Albert was my favorite. And there was this little dude, I can't remember his name, but his line was always to the one guy. It was always like, Rudy, you're like school on Saturday, no class. But you, T. Dylan Daniel, you have class all the time. I do want to say hi to our friend Odd Writings. George, we're so glad to have you here.
Thanks, AD. I'm always happy to be here.
Well, it makes our day for you to be here. So there's all kinds of stuff going on right now, you guys. First of all, we are still on X here. We're still using the spaces on X, which we do that because we know how many people are here, and we don't want to lose you. But quite honestly, I think a lot of us are really tired of X and everything that it entails at this point. So there's been a lot of excitement with alternative networks and alternative things. We're looking at that. But one thing that we discovered last week, Riona Morgan and I were looking at the statistics and looking at everything for the show after the show. And what we saw was that X said that there was something like 180 people in the space, but we only saw like 20 of you. And so this is something that I tested out. And what I found out is that when I take my personal profile, which you may or may not see up at the top, it says CDG Monk. When I go into other spaces and I put that profile in the space, doesn't show up. It just doesn't show up in other spaces. And Riona said that there was a bunch of other people so that she's heard about who are having the same issue. So what X is doing is basically canceling us all. And it really sucks. So if you're one of those 100 and some people who's here in this space that we don't see and don't acknowledge, man, we love you and we're so glad you're here. And just know that we're working on finding an alternative platform to get up on. Riona, do you have thoughts on that?
I do a little bit, and well, mainly my thought is I don't understand it. Of course, I don't understand why not everybody who is here listening is visible, and we would love to be able to send out invites to everybody because this is like CD, like you always say, it's a conversation, and we all want to jump in and share our thoughts on what it is to be a citizen in the and living the digital lifestyle. But I just want to say to those of you, if you're here in the space with us, whether it's now or in the future. Thank you so much for coming. We're so glad that you're here. And so, yeah, it's so strange. But either way, whether we can see you or not, we love you and we're happy that you're here with us.
For sure. I want to say hi to Hooligan. You requested to come up on the stage, and we're happy to have you here. Who are you? What are you all about? Good morning.
Hey, what up, bud? But we actually know each other from Page Dow years ago.
What
Dylan,
up,
hi.
Nephi?
Hey, what up? What up? What up? Sorry for the noise. I'm about to put my headphones in. But yeah, to me, Dylan and Easy were in Past the Pen for a while with the song I was working on. Oh, Rihanna, I know her too. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. But I'm glad to see your magazine's doing well, brother. I remember when you started that with Page Dow, and it's glad to see you being successful and keep pushing on, man, pushing forward. The space and everything, and still holding true to Page Dow and everything y'all got going on over there, man.
Hooligan, of course, now I recognize you. I recognize that voice. Hooligan's a great name, but it's kind of universal. But once you started talking, I was like, oh, yeah, pass the pin. How's it going? What are you doing? What are you up to these days?
I actually pivoted to AVAX. I'm doing a mixtape S visual plus recording every week. Try to make it topical, things like that. But it's more of a mixtape S type feel, one of one on AVAX through Campfire. Pivoted to that, and I just found a great community of people that are staying it behind. And I'm also still working on the, not it's not going to be like a full length book, but to give to all my original holders, I still want to hold true to the book that I wanted to come through with, and I made that promise that I'm going to come through with it. So what I'm doing right now is crafting a short, 2-3 page graphic novel that I'm using AI and things like that to generate, because I don't draw, I just write and make music. And I'm also pivoting towards, the beginning stages of mastering. I've been getting a lot better at mixing, so now I'm starting to pivot to mastering. I give my music to wizards to master, but I want to be able to understand what those terms mean, and I can speak the language of them while I'm in the studio with them, uh, just so I can, further my craft forward, work on myself every day, and just keep pushing forward and making music, man. At the end of the day, you can't please everybody. I'm just out here making music, and I'm fucking with the people that fuck with me.
Oh my God, dude, that is so cool. I love what you're doing. I love the community aspect of the vibes, and I love also the acknowledgement of like we don't all do everything great. And you send your music to wizards to master it. Such the smart move. Find people smarter than you. Just like what I was talking about. I'm not so clever, but I am very blessed to be surrounded by clever people, and I have my own strengths, but cleverness probably doesn't fall into it.
Well, hey, CD, on that note, I got to throw out a suggestion for you, man. I was talking to Natimus earlier. I see him in the crowd. And I know that Hooligan brought up Pass the Pin. So it would be pretty cool to maybe bring Natimus up if he's got time and just hear a little bit about his writing project here in Web3 and what they're up to on the Arbitrum space.
The invite is sent. Okay, Nate, if you get up here, we would love to hear from you. Hey, there's a couple of things that I did want to bring up, though. First, you'll see up in the nest that I put a Farcaster invite. Like, if you guys are not on Farcaster, you need to get on Farcaster. There is so much pop in there. It's, people are calling it sometimes a Twitter alternative, but I would say it's a complementary one. If you love Twitter, you don't have to give it up, but I'm using it as an alternative. I've basically said, personally, FX. X is my X. But so I put the invite up there. Just scan the code. It'll take you to Farcaster and get you in there, and you should be able to get in and join. And I think you'll get some warps for using that as well, which is kind of cool. So that's one thing. Another thing is that Blue Sky, another Twitter alternative, went public today. So if you have been interested in Blue Sky but have been waiting for an invite or whatever, that went public today. Third thing I wanted to bring up is exchanges. OpenSea, we all know, has had problems for a long time. It has been bleeding. Blur with the traders has really replaced it 100%. But we're not all traders. We don't all want to flip things. And so what's happened is Magic Eden has really stepped up. And there was some news from Magic Eden today. They partnered with Pudgy Penguins, and there's some other stuff going on. So Magic Eden is really moving into the space to be where I think a lot of like cross-chain and multi-chain NFT stuff is going to be happening. What do you guys think about that? The OpenSea stuff, the Magic Eden stuff. I want to hear your opinions and your thoughts on that. So just open your mic, be polite to each other. That's all we ask.
That sounds pretty cool. On the about Magic Eden, I had looked into them just the other day to see that they were supporting different chains. I've been on a thing of trying to find different chains, but I wanted to say something about Farcaster. I've tried 2 or 3 times to get on Farcaster, and every time, at some point in the sequence of getting allowed on there, it requires me to scan a QR code, and I don't have a cell phone. I want to do everything on the desktop, and I know there's browser plugins that let you scan QR codes, and I've tried it, but it doesn't seem to. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong, or for whatever reason it doesn't seem to work. So I can try yet again, but every time I try to get on Farcaster, I get to some kind of block, and it won't let me on. It really likes people with cell phones, and I'm one of the rare people that try to avoid those. So I just thought I'd point that out in case anyone else has suggestions.
Hey, I applaud your efforts on that. I really respect the choice to avoid cell phones as much as you can. You might want to try again because they did open it up public just a few days ago, and I think it's more open to browsers as well now. So you might be able to get on there easier than you were before. So Natimus, we got you up on the stage. Also, just want to give a quick shout out to Sean, to Kishian Builders, Epic Style, El Sol, Bohemian. We're so happy to have you guys all in the audience. And this is a conversation, of course, so we're happy to have you up on the stage if you have something to contribute. Natimus, hand the mic to you. What is happening?
Hey, how's everybody doing? Glad to be here. I'm glad I caught this a few minutes ago. Thanks, Dylan. So I am with Spire DAO. We are a platform that builds out the on-chain lore for games on the Arbitrum ecosystem. So we partner with games such as the Realmverse, and what we do is we create a Genesis text series of stories for their game, and then those open up for competitions for artwork and also to continue those storylines. It's free to participate in that, and if you win a competition, you receive NFTs of your artwork that kind of goes, we call it like a lore blockchain. So you can kind of see how all the stories relate back to the original.
I think I lost you there, Natimus.
Natimus!
You got rugged, man. That's yet another reason we got to find an alternative. It rugged him. X rugged him.
No doubt. And I gotta say, I'm getting some funny looks walking around on campus, hosting a Twitter space. This is pretty awesome. If you're here at Texas Tech University listening, wave at me or something. You can just make this weird for everyone.
I'm not there. Hey, are you gonna be? Is the eclipse gonna pass over you when that happens in April, Dylan?
I don't know, but we get a thumbs down and a laugh from Natimus. I think maybe he has realized that he lost the thread there. Let's send it back to him and see if maybe he can talk again.
Natimus, can you talk? We still can't hear you. Yeah, we still can't hear you, man. You might want to leave the space. We'll bring you back up on the stage. Sometimes that helps. So leave and rejoin. Sometimes that does the trick.
Yeah, I will share right quick, just for everybody, that the connection to Pass the Pin there is that we are looking at some sort of page DAO partnership with the Spire DAO that Natimus has founded and represents. And so basically, I think what that might look like would be Pass the Pin content. There might be published works. There might be some NFTs coming at you. All of this, of course, it is probably 30 to 60 days from production, of course. But since this is Page DAO, if we do end up creating this partnership, we'll probably talk about it and give you, the listener, the community members, the opportunity to come get involved in this if you want to.
And that is cool. I think, Natimus, we may have you back. If I heard
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I don't know when I cut out. I was just talking away, but we essentially partner with games on the Arbitrum ecosystem and build out their on-chain lore. So we create a series of stories, and then we hand it over to the community and open up competitions to complete those storylines and add art as well. All that stuff ends up as part of that game's blockchain lore, and creator winners receive NFTs of their artwork and can build a portfolio of their work to show. And we have a lot more stuff in store, including media like audio, video, and everything like that to complete the vision of these games and build it alongside the Arbitrum ecosystem.
Sounds like something I'd be really into finding out more about. I did see that Dylan started a conversation, and I didn't have a chance to dig into everything yet, but really happy that we have you here. Happy to hear about the possibilities of partnership with PageDAO and some of our other friends' stuff. Actually, somebody should send an invite to Easy and Crypto. Get that guy here if we can get him today. But yeah, you guys, if you're just tuning in, this is VMGM. The way this works, the first half of the show, we kind of look at the digital citizenship and the Web3 space and what has been happening and stuff like that. The second half of the show, we're going to go into Web3 writers. We'll be talking about specifically Web3 writing topics, whether it's writers, books, publishers, all that stuff. And yeah, it's a conversation. If you have something that you want to contribute or you want to be a part of it, just put your hand up. We'll get you up on the stage. And that is what I have to say. Riona, we haven't given you much chance to talk today. Do you have anything that you brought today that you wanted to share with us?
Well, I definitely want to say hello to Hooligan, but then now I don't see him. So, anyway, Hooligan, hello, hello, and it's so great to see you and hear you today. And so, the topic that I thought we could talk about is AI. And I feel like that there is just this explosion of really anything and everything that you would like to have finished or done or created. There's an AI app for it. And I've just been jumping into ChatGPT. And within ChatGPT, there are these little GPT like apps or extensions that can do all of these amazing things. And so that's what I wanted to talk about to see, are you guys finding that is these extensions, are you liking them? Are you using them? Have you heard of them? Like, because I'm like, I think, am I behind the AI? Am I ahead? Am I in the middle? Where am I? And so that was really my thought for today is where are you all with the AI journey?
Well, I'll jump in and say that I'm not necessarily using the extensions just a ton lately. But one thing that I am using a lot of is the new research capability. You can ask ChatGPT to help you locate papers. And what I've been using it for is to sort of boost or augment the confidence that I have that I'm seeing all of the literature as I sort of draw conclusions and figure out where to try first to leave my mark, so to speak, here. So ChatGPT is just absolutely instrumental in that, because it does actually kind of get the opportunity to read most of the things that are out there. I also want to point out that Rihanna Morgan is head of community and part of a core team at PageDub. So it's great to be able to introduce you, Rihanna, to our new friend Nativeness. I believe you guys have had a chance to speak a little bit on Discord as well. So really, really cool. I love to see the Web3 space, kind of meshing together, in the form of interesting conversations and new projects. It truly is a lovely, thing to see here at the beginning of this bull market, perhaps.
Yes, definitely. And I'm so excited to meet you, Natimus. I'm looking forward to learning more about what you have, and I may even have a project that might be something we could collaborate on or talk with each other about a little bit. So that sounds super exciting. And so yes, welcome, and Paige Dow welcomes you, and Vagabond Magazine welcomes you, and we're really excited to have you part of this community.
Hey, thanks. Super happy to meet everyone. This is great. I look forward to hearing more about this secret project. Wink, wink.
I love the name of that secret network. It adds a little bit of spyness to what you're doing, even though there's nothing spy about it. But it's a good
Hey,
topic to
don't
talk
talk
about.
about our secret grants in public.
Dun 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 dun.
Just kidding. But seriously, we did get a bunch of secret tokens, so nobody knows where those are.
On
I'm
the
kidding.
getting back to Riona's thing on the AI thing, I've been using Night Cafe for a long time, or well, relatively speaking, to generate graphics. I really like it because it's really easy to get these free credits on there, and I've amassed a huge number of credits. And if you run out of credits, you have to pay. But I mean, it's so easy to use, and I don't know. So I haven't been looking for any alternatives. I know there's been obviously advances in the field, but I'm just sticking with Net Cafe for now because I'm happy with what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I love Night Cafe. It really works well for me. I think that there's a lot of other options out there and a lot of more technical options. And for those who are really deep in the art, they can do a lot better. But for me, who's just kind of a duffer and sometimes needs an image for an article or whatever, it works really well. Want to say hi to Sean. I think it's the first time we've had you on the stage here. How are you, man? We're so glad to have you here.
Hey everyone, yeah, it's my first time here. I'm glad to be here and meet everyone and start, learning more about the community.
Cool. So tell us a little bit about you. What do you do? How's it going for you in the digital citizenship space?
Yeah, it's going all right. We're all here building together, so it's looking up. But I come from a journalism academic background. Pretty much got that right as journalism was dying, so that wasn't the best choice. But it led me to Web3, and I noticed there wasn't a lot of reporting about like niche aspects or sections or genres of like say Web3 music, and I'm a big metal guy, so I thought, well, let's just build it and start from there. So Web3 Metal is just basically curation and reporting on alternative music and lifestyle brands and artists in the ecosystem right now, and we're just trying to go from there. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing, Sean. Hey, did you happen to see our feature in Vagabond Magazine about Emily Lazar? We did an interview with her. Like, absolutely love her in terms of Web3 metal.
Awesome. I haven't caught that, but she's definitely like, on the forefront. She's an OG, so I'm going to check that out.
Cool. Yeah, we have been wanting to focus more on music and lifestyle, all along, like we little by little. So we definitely are happy to have you here and happy to follow what you're doing and see everything that you're doing. I see a bunch of people just
Yeah.
jumped into the space, and I want to invite you all to come up on the stage. It's a conversation. If you have something to share, you like, you're welcome to join us.
Can I just add something on the AI aspect? I've been messing around with the custom GPT bots. If you have four, you can build your own, basically your own custom personal, you can also put it out to the public, but that's not what I'm doing mine for. And it's basically, you can train it on your own writing. So I took a whole bunch of my writing, said, here, this is what I want. Ask it, okay, you've seen all these pieces. What would tell me what my writing is. And then you can kind of fine tune it as you get stuff. You feed it back in after proofreading it. So I've been kind of doing that, and they have now interacted. So Dolly is a generative AI visual generative AI. So it's in the chat itself. So right then and there, without going out of a chat, without using another GPT, I'm able to create the visuals. I can add other custom GPTs. So I'm in mine writing my article. I create the visual, and then I add a third GPT to talk to me in that actual conversation still. So it's like you can layer the GPTs now over there and, really customize down what you're getting back from them. So it's pretty cool.
Love that. So do you have to be a Chat GPT 4 subscriber? Or is that on the paid plan only, or is that something you can do on the free plan as well?
That is paid plan only as of right now.
May have to think about getting that paid plan. Hey, I wanted to tell you guys, about a month ago, we had a space where someone brought up those Meta glasses that you can actually record video and audio on, and I was like, I'm gonna get a pair. It was a warning that was brought up. I was like, these are terrible. People are doing this. And I was like, I want a pair. I got a pair. And so now, if you see me walking around in Honolulu in my big dark sunglasses, talking to myself without AirPods in, that's the reason why, because the glasses are actually transmitting it to me. So sometimes I've been recording stuff and I'll be walking around and I don't have a phone out. I don't have AirPods. I'm just walking around looking like a complete lunatic talking to myself. But I'm not doing that right at the moment. So don't worry. Okay, you guys, we've got just a couple minutes left in VMGM before we transition to the second half. But I did want to give Rihanna Morgan the opportunity. We did quick fire last week, and she was like, "Ooh, I want to bring a question." Did you bring a question?
Oh, so yes, I do have a question that I think would be really fun. And so when you first enter the space, however you enter the space, where do you go first? Like, what's your first place that you visit when you enter the digital landscape every day?
The first place I go to is sciencedaily.com to find out the latest science news, and then I'll pick a news article, science news article that I really like, and I'll use that in order to generate a graphic on Night Cafe. And that way, I'm sure to always log into Night Cafe every day because you get free free credits for doing that. So that's a way for me to remember doing that.
I go to CoinMarketCap. First thing I do when I log in, I go into the CoinMarketCap and I look at what moved the most and up and down in the past 24 hours. That's my first space when I enter the digital space, almost every time or daily. Rihanna, what about you?
I go to Discord because that's where all of you are. And so I'm just like, what happened? What's going on? And so many of you know me pretty well, and a lot of you are meeting me for the first time, but I'm a sporadic sleeper, I guess is the best way to say. I'm a midnight writer. I write in the middle of the night and I will jump up and I have an idea and I just sit down and I just clink out something. And then I generally jump into Discord and see, what's going on at PageDAO, what's going on at Vagabond Magazine, and who needs what and how can I help? And so people are like, where do you live? Because you're always sort of awake. And that's a true thing. That's a true thing. But I live in Montana.
Okay, so with Discord, it's one of my well, I can't go there first. If I go to Discord first, I get sucked into the rabbit hole and nothing else gets done because Discord is just where everything is really happening. So it's key, but I cannot go there first. Dylan, we haven't heard from you. Where do you go when you first log on?
CoinGecko.
They have good news there.
Okay, Sean and Block, you guys want to share with us where you go when you first log on each day or evening or however it is for you?
Well, dang, I've been trying to change my ways because I'll admit that I will go to Twitter because that's where the action's at, hop on spaces, but the next thing you know, the day's shot. So now I've been trying to go into my email, read a couple newsletters, and then get to writing. That's my new morning. So far, it's working okay.
Yeah, Twitter's a black hole for me as well. Like, dude, I'm on this app since like dude, since 5 a.m. today. Like, and it's 1:30 where I'm at. I haven't even done anything in real life. Like, I got dishes I gotta wash. Like, I don't know why, but I mean, I'm growing. Like, it is what it is, you know.
And Block, this is the first time we've had you on stage, and we're really happy to have you here. Your voice sounds familiar, so I think we've been in some spaces together before. But you guys, sorry to tell you, we've run out of time for VMGM, but don't worry, Web3 Writers is coming up, so don't leave the space.